Okay, so we're playing a game here, a friendly game within the Pennsylvania Federation. I'm playing against David. He's got the Soviets, and we've got the US. We don't have the strongest hand, but we are going to be able to dispose of some of his more problematic cards. Not holding any scoring cards, and not really much in the way of good headlines. I think we just open 4-4-2. We both have pretty standard opening headlines. So I think our headline's going to be Olympic Games. It's not a really strong headline, and we're sort of telegraphing we don't really have anything. The other alternative is blockade. But if he purges us, then we're getting rid of one of our only good cards. So I think it's going to be Olympic Games. And socialist government is not a card we want to see. At least we win the Olympic Games. And here comes Purge for a giant coup. So it fails. It does not fail. It is incredibly successful. So where do we go now? Okay, not having Truman and stumbling out the gate means I think we go to, let's think about this here. We don't want to risk going into Pakistan because he could coup with the China card. We could go 2 to Afghanistan, 2 to France, knowing they're probably going to get rid of Suez with blockade. I think that's the plan. Or I think about this. If we play, this is really tricky here because we may end up having to hold on to blockade. Okay, so he plays de Gaulle. All right, so we now have accounted for all of the Europe attack cards. They all showed up here in round 1, which is unfortunate. I really hate to sacrifice European domination, but I'm not really in a position to fight him. We don't have access to the Mediterranean countries. And even though, yeah, I can't fight him, I think we have to give up Europe, which is really a shame. And we can fill up these 2 battlegrounds and start working towards Egypt. But I think that's as good as we're going to do. Yeah, that's a really not a great start. Yeah, but holding socialist governments de Gaulle and Purge, that makes our lives a lot more difficult. So the question is, do we get rid of blockade? because our hand's about to get much worse. Yeah, I think we space decall, play UN for ops, and then blockade away Suez. It's really not what we want to be doing. We don't, because he rolled so well on his Italy coup, it means we can't even, break him in Italy. All right, so Asia's out before we could grab our battlegrounds. We don't want a coup now, but we could get first to space. That's good. All right, so ways that we could challenge him for Europe. Right now we've seen, oh, okay, well, there goes that plan. I was gonna say we could even up country count, but that now is not a possibility. Let's see. Do we get into a coup war over Lebanon? I mean, obviously he doesn't have, I'm actually okay with this play. I know Asia's already scored, but we need to get adjacency to Thailand. All right, it gives us CIA. We see that he has 5-year plan in Formosa. Not great prospects for a coup. So I think we go here. What did David say in response? Yeah, he's right about that. Both of us disarming big events for the opponent. I think the play here is move into Thailand. Yeah, he's worried about Asia. I'm worried about Europe. I think the move into Thailand was the right play. Oh, he rolled really well. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh man, I'm gonna lose points on. Oh geez, Louise. So I'm expecting him to play Formosa. If I coup with UN intervention, a kind of worthless coup on Iraq, that one is worth, let's see here. I think if he takes Thailand, let me think about this. I think that playing, I think that taking the coup is the right move here, assuming he doesn't coup with Formosa. Expecting him. All right, well, in this case, I think I need to take the coup. All right, we fail, but we save ourselves some points. Okay, so some decisions here. We got some good cards for us, which means he probably got some good cards for him. The big question is, since we got Europe, and we're expecting that he got I see his point about Asia, which is now a big problem. We also didn't draw the war, so that's going to be an issue. But I still think we're going to play there. So the question here is, if we play Marshall Plan, we can fight him on country count, which I think is going to be the play. Well, we know he's holding 5-year plan in Formosa. We're going to play Marshall Plan. The plan is going to be, maybe he won't discard Middle East after all. So I think we can play, I might want to hold on to defectors and keep Indy Reds in our back pocket. So I think the play is going to be, assuming he coups Iran, play influence into, there's Formosa. Oh, these coup rolls have been good. So I think, okay, I think this is going to be the play. So what David's saying here is that he was able to get rid of CIA, and he knew he was going to be holding Formosa. So by giving us the China card, he really minimized the impact of that. On the other hand, he cooed Panama. Instead of Iran. So he's playing Warsaw. Okay, he's going to let us dump Europe, which is fine. But since he played into Burma, we're going to play into India. That could be a mistake. It means he's going to have a 1 in 3 to get off the war roll if he gets it, or we just hand over India. The alternative here is or we have to assume he's holding let's see here. He's pointing out one of the bugs in the Playdeck software, which is that it could... all right, so what to do here? I think what I'm going to try and do... All right, he's been rolling great. We'll give him the chance. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Waiting for the war. Oh, I see. So he's pointing out another of our deficiencies, which was not playing a point into Costa Rica, although really I feel like every op is essential. Oh, he doesn't play the war. Interesting. All right, we got to play Europe now. And now it's time to move to... We got to play Indie Reds and Defectors for ops. 1, 2. And CNS, I hate playing CNS into the easier to achieve space. Truman. Actually, that is out of the deck. And we'll get rid of this. All right, so we're going to go 1 here, 1 here, and even things up. All right, Vietnam revolts. He's just going to play that to even things up in Korea, meaning we're going to have 2 more action rounds. I think we go here. And like that. Yep. I think we play CNS anyway, even though it's not the most advantageous space. US, Japan. Oh. Okay. Okay. Played CNS. We managed to hold D-Stel. We get containment. We get the war. That's huge. Containment, IP war, Korean war, Middle East scoring. Yeah, discards, EU, decall, and Vietnam revolts. All right, we know he's got nuclear test ban, NORAD, 5-year plan, duck and cover, Arab-Israeli war, and special relations. So he has a very blue hand. I'm not gonna, I was hoping to see Korean war first. No such luck. Okay, so we managed to neutralize things in Asia, although it looks like 1, 2, 3 battlegrounds to his 3, and we've got Formosa. So if we have the ops, we could make Asia work for us. On the other hand, we may just be leveling up in Saudi Arabia. Right now, the Middle East is, ouch, 4 points. Still, I think we headline containment. It's kind of a no-brainer headline here. Play IP war for Milops. We'll have free ops in, my goodness. It's a good thing we get 2 space shots. We can play Korean War. Oh, Suez for a headline. Interesting. He's probably looking to play special relationship. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's thinking if he can remove Israel and coup us out of Iran, then he can he'll remove us entirely from the region. So I'm expecting here a coup with nuclear test ban. We are going to get to space his 2 D cards. Actually, it turns out we're not going to get that much mileage out of containment. Maybe I should have, maybe I should have waited on that. Yeah, maybe I should have held that for next round. Maybe I should have headlined Middle East, held that for next round. Is he going to play Europe right away? No, he's not. He's going to coup special relationship. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, we can repair. And play into Algeria. No, what if we play into Malaysia? Does that put us on domination? Oh, wait a minute. No, we need to place influence like this. 1, 2, 3. 4. And the plan is going to be grab Taiwan without using the China card, possibly giving up Korean War. But next we dump Middle East. It's a lot of things I want to do, and I think if he's got Asia, he's going to drop it now. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we can hold Vietnam. So we aren't going to have to worry about losing control of that Southeast Asian country. Space is duck and cover. We give Middle East for 4. The scoreboard's looking favorable for him. Thinking about this here, we don't actually need to space decall. Although, let's think about this. It's not a bad thing. Because Vietnam is actually, because of containment, a net gain of 1 op for us. So if we're desperate for an op, we could use that in Taiwan. Could play that AR6. Interesting. All right, so now he's going to fight us for country count, it looks like. No, I think if he had it, he would have played it. So now what he's trying to do is we have to take Taiwan with Korean War. That decreases the chance that it works. And we take Indonesia. I think this is the play. He's got a 1 in 6 chance. Good to get that out of the deck. We don't really have any more usable ops, though, at this point. Okay, here's another set of big ops for him. All right, he grabs Malaysia. I think we now space. Aha. Well, he's thinking to get Vietnam, but don't think that's going to happen since it's in our hand. Let's see how we go here. Space decall. And it doesn't go, which is fine. Wow. All right, 5. I think now we go play event. Pakistan, 50-50. Yay. All right, so IP war goes. Yeah. Yep. So now, I mean, the great coup and his early success in Italy has amounted to oh, and we get NORAD. Oh, this is interesting. We played Thailand and Panama. All right. Interesting. So do we play? All right, so that wouldn't work. Okay. Let's see. Do we play into Mexico? I feel like I want something in Central America. All right, so what I could do is give him Vietnam in exchange for, or I could just space destall. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We failed, got it out of the hand. All right, so now we add the mid-war. We get grain sales and puppets and colonial rear guards. Southeast Asia, Central America, Allende, kitchen to base, which is not active, and NATO. All right, so I think we headline rear guards and steal the coup. I think that's the play. Socialist governments, yikes. Always scary to see that card. Holding on to Vietnam and the fact that we had 2 unsuccessful space rolls, that means that we still can space Vietnam revolts. Well, that's fine. All right, we'll coup with Camp David. Although, yeah. All right, just enough. He may take France here. We haven't seen Truman out of the deck. He is going to take France, looks like. All right. Okay, so I think what we do is we take Algeria, beat him to the punch there, and Mexico. And if nothing else happens, then we drop Central America for nothing. That's the hope. Right, so drop Central America if we can, then play rear guards. Southeast Asia is 2, so maybe if we put a point in the Philippines, we could level that up. In fact, we can use a lot of the points from rear guards in Southeast Asia. Obviously, we'll take the African battlegrounds, but we are actually heading towards a good situation. If we can overprotect Angola, we also have puppets, which is great for South America. Get some points here for Nixon. Okay, now we drop Central America for, let's see, where's Fidel? I don't think I have the points to worry about Fidel, so we'll just drop this for nothing. Yeah, it would have taken at least 4 ops. Cambridge 5 for influence. He's building up towards OPEC, which is going to be nasty. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 points for OPEC, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. Instead, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 points like that with CRG. Doesn't look like we're going to get mill ops here, but that's all right. All right, so repairing. So Southeast Asia now goes to his way. I don't see that getting better, so let's play that. OPEC for the event is points for him. And anywhere else we want to go? Sure, we'll go to Brazil as well. Vulnerable to brush war, but I feel like that's pretty much always the case. Junta. Yeah, he held on to that. All right, now we got decisions to make because we don't really have ops. Not being able to play the China card is really, really hurting us. Maybe the thing to do is to just take Venezuela, give up on Brazil, and then we can either play or space Vietnam. Yeah, I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, he really prioritized taking France there, which is interesting. I think what we want to do is space Vietnam. All right, 5-year plans coming out here. Looks like we'll be playing Vietnam. All right. Vietnam still gives us Asian domination, so I don't feel terrible about this. Yeah, I think we're all vulnerable to brush war. But if I play like this, we could try to headline. The only card that could really affect it would be brush war, or yeah, I think this is the play. It's a bit risky. Let's see what we get. Okay. We get defectors, alliance, Panama, flower power, omit, CMC, which is now meaning he can't coup, Indie Reds, and Missile Envy. All right, so he could headline so without duck and cover. No, duck and cover's in the discard pile. All right, so we go. We know he's got NORAD. I don't know. We've got NORAD. Oh, but goodness gracious, we don't have All right. Okay, so do I defector? What kind of cards would he headline? Liberation theology, but Central America's already scored. South African unrest, that's a likely headline. Quagmire, that's likely. Don't care about de Gaulle. We don't really care about Muslim Revolution. Fidel, not really relevant. So his 2 African access cards are significant. I think, though, he doesn't know we have defectors. Isn't real. So if he plays either of his African access cards, he grabs Angola. He can, in the headline, overbuild Zaire, and then it's a race to see who can get South Africa. This is a big decision here. I want to protect both Africa and South America. And there's different ways of doing those 2 things. Did we see nuclear test ban? Last round, no. It's not in the discard pile. I wonder if he kept it or if my card tracking is off. Okay. If we play Cube Missile Crisis, he can't coup at all this round. And I think that's going to be the play. Oh, okay. Did not expect that. That was not what I thought he was going to do. So now Missile Envy becomes our next playable card, I believe. That means he must have drawn neither of his African access cards. Okay, so he plays Quagmire. Okay. So what do we get rid of? I think Independent Reds is just a regular 2. That's really interesting. He said he was afraid of defectors. We're going to try to hold it. But now that clears the way for us to play Missile Envy, which I think is a good play. Except we just saw nuclear test ban, which is unfortunate. All right. So although I really think the only card he could give us would be Usuri or Bear Trap or Shuttle Diplomacy. I think, all right, let's gamble. I'm going to try this. If Missile Envy doesn't work, I can coup Uruguay. All right, so where do we coup? What's the likelihood that Brazil will work. I could play back to Argentina. All right, we get him out of Argentina. All right. The fact that we're holding Allende is also a big plus. I guess the question is, do we take Chile with flower power? It also takes care of our mill op situation, which is good. South America is the only unscored region. We are going to want, we've got plenty of cards in the discard pile. We're going to play Omit before we lose him to Muslim Rev. Other things to do, probably event Panama Canal returns. It's not, it overprotects Venezuela. Oh, access to Cuba. Well, that's interesting. Let's see, have we seen Fidel? We have not seen Fidel. And Central America's already scored, so I think what we do is let's play Omen. Sure. Before we lose our chance, discard Muslim Rev, discard Liberation Theology, discard Portuguese Empire crumbles. I'm ahead on the space race, so we discard one small step. And how I learned, I think that helps me more than him. So we'll leave that one in the deck. All right, so we got rid of 3 of his cards, which is nice. We didn't see Gunman, which would have been great, but can't have everything. Sadat, UN. All right, that's probably, yeah, I can see it. I can see that. So enough messing around. We play Flower Power. And there's South America. Well, that was good. Let's see, 4 points for Alliance for Progress. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Let's see. Alliance. All right, so he advances in the space race. Let's get Allende out of our hand. I'm going to realign him with +2. Still think I'm going to event Panama Canal returns. Yeah, I needed to use that. So Asia is the only unscored region. Ideally, we would see it here, because there's still some craziness that could happen. But let's hope for... Let's hope for... We've seen Usuri now, the Usuri and Voice of America, Bear Trap OAS, so there's still some good. Also not seen Ask Not. And we really don't want to see Ask Not right now. Although I think if he did play Ask Not, I would still ditch Panama Canal returns. His cards we haven't seen. Gunman that's the big one. We Will Bury You. Cultural Revolution. De Gaulle, Shea, Fidel. Yeah. We both still have a good number of promising cards. Also, Brush War. I would say I'm more vulnerable to Brush War here in South America. But a nice Brush War Panama would be great. Ooh, nuclear subs, that's juicy. All right. Jeez. That's a really nice way to ditch nuclear subs. Can't really use it effectively. And oh, we're going to get points off of mill ops. That's interesting. I still think we play this way. Well, we get Ask Not and Brush War and How I Learned. So let's see here. Get Brush War, Willy Brandt, How I Learned. Cultural Revolution, send that to space. De Gaulle is basically a free play. Ask Not, which we're going to hold on to. Shuttle and Latin American Death Squad. Okay. So for the headline, I'm leaning towards defectors. Although what we know he did last time was he headlined Africa, hoping that we would play defectors. So he could do the same with Asia. There's only 6 cards in the deck, so he probably has Asia. And I'm guessing that's going to be the play. So the alternative is we go the other way and we play Shuttle. Brush War doesn't really help. We could get Panama. Not really relevant. Could play How I Learned and drop the DEFCON to protect Africa. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I like that. Shuttle is just going to be 1 point, so nothing really tremendous there. How I Learned. Yeah, let's do that. Now, that ends up being not as great. Now, that was one time I probably should have used. Yeah, probably one time that I really should have used defectors and I didn't. So I kind of got into my own head there. Let's say we're going to play Willy Brandt. Can I hold 2 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I have to hold either Ascot or defectors. So it looks like we'll be playing defectors. I'm worried about Chile. I'm worried about a coup on Colombia and realigns in Venezuela. But I'm fine with having a coup war. Right now we can play Panama at a 2 out of 3 with Brush War. All right, U2 was for influence, takes Chile. And now we have the possibility of double realignments. So I think our play here is going to be yeah, I think we need to play there. Worried about realigns. Although if I play a big enough coup, he could take it. All right. Nope. All right, so he fails in his space roll. De Gaulle is basically free. I think for my space roll, I'm in a space culture revolution. Both of our space rolls fail. Fatale for influence. Yikes. What? Oh, he could get it back. I see what he's doing. Oh, nice move. Nice move. Okay. Oh, flower power is going to give him points. Is it still worth it? It's still worth it for brush war. Want to brush Panama? Sure, we'll brush Panama. All right. Since we can still get rid of Ortega, I think the plan now is going to be move into Cuba and or coup Nicaragua for realigns. I think that's going to be a play. Available ops, 4, 5, 6, 7. I really want to event shuttle if I can. Not sure that's going to be possible. I want to put points into South America, South Africa, more points in Angola. Oh, I see. He's fighting us for country count. Interesting. Interesting. So what kind of points do we have here? We can flip Laos. We can do that twice, actually. All right, so now if he plays that again, then we play shuttle. We see Summit. There's arms race. Okay, he's using his Brezhnev advantage to the fullest. We have not seen Summit. Oh, how does that not? Oh, we still don't have enough. Interesting. Uh-huh. All right. Well, I don't think there's going to be much we can do about this. Right now, Asia's worth 2. Eventing shuttle means it's 3. I don't know if 1 point is worth it. We can try it. It gives us 1. He can make 1 more flip if he's got it. Sure, we'll try it once more. It's such a big difference. It's 4 points. So, and it also means he's using up all of his, high up cards. If he makes the flip and plays Asia, we get 2 points for Asia and 2 points for mill up. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I may also, for my last AR, coup Nicaragua. Oh, he does it. Well, good for him. All right, so I think what we do is, we've already made our space shot. I don't love giving him, we're going to have to give him the op for Willy Brandt, or the VP for Willy Brandt. And we coup, and we coup here in Nicaragua, or do we just play into Cuba? Well, let's think about this. All right, so here's what we could do. We could actually break East Germany. 2 points in here. No, we couldn't. And we can't easily level up country count, so I don't think we worry about this. I think we worry about this. Well, we achieve the same thing if we just add 1 point here and 1 point here. Hmm. We're actually fairly close to, ooh. So now things looks kind of not so great. All right, we got Summit, we get Gunman, we get VOA, and we re-add discards. Oh, Asia's scoring got played. You get IP War, you get Arms Race, Camp David, Reds, Camp David, Africa. All right, I think we're going to be using Ask Not this turn, but we don't have to headline it. It might be useful to headline it, headline Camp David. Or we could headline IP War. Is there a way you can drop the DEF CON? Well, let's think. How does Summit look here? He's got 2. You've only got, so Summit's not an option. I think Camp David's the headline here. Another reason to use Ask Not is that I have no space cards. So if we were to ditch a bunch of these, so there's his African access card. All right, we only had that. Look like that. We know he's got a pretty blue hand. Usuri, Bear Trap, John Paul. And coups with Arab-Israeli war. Oh, well, that's lucky. Now, how do we want to do this? Aha. All right. VOA, our friend VOA. Divinely protected by the US. I like that. How do we want to do this? Yeah, let's give him something to worry about. I think we fill up with arms race and then score Africa. I think that's going to be the plan. We also can use China. Like, I'm not opposed to using China. Well, we did get a bit lucky here. That's for certain. Although I like the idea of hanging on to arms race. Tricky. We could always wait. I don't know. Because arms race is the only card. He's already got 2 points. So we would need something to coup some country. And right now, Uruguay is our only target. With something bigger than a 2, and then event it. So it's a little bit dicey. And I think we play arms race. Oh, what happened here? All right. Had some temporary server glitches. So the card that will really save him here is Portuguese Empire crumbles. All right, sends you Surrey to space, and it fails. I think and let's overprotect Angola. Let's see what happens. D-stall, decall, one of the D cards would really help. Well, he says it will end it. Let's see what happens. Oh, hadn't thought about the realigns. Well, thanks for watching. David is an excellent player and a great part of the Pennsylvania Federation. And stay tuned. We're going to play another team game coming up hopefully in about a week.